These juvenile delinquents don't go to jail, but they dig holes every day. They've dug over 3,000 holes and they don't want to stop. They even turned the desert into a beehive of coal, because if they find something, they'll get a big reward. On his first day here, the hero found a lipstick, but before he could report it, the jailbird took it for himself. Sam, who knows the ways of the world, didn't resist. The jailer then handed the lipstick to the guards. The guards were instantly on the verge of an attack, immediately reported the situation to the warden. Warden Jenny arrived and carefully examined the object, and found that this item is a big clue. Then he asked his men to take the jailbird in a special car for a day off. As a reward, she told everyone to use the jailbird's pit as the center of a circle, and spread out in all directions. But after 3 days and 3 nights of digging, there's not a single hair on the ground. Looks like the plan failed. Then we can't dig these pits for nothing. The warden is going to use these pits to pickle sauerkraut. But Jenny didn't know. This lipstick was dug out of the pit. It's not the wrong thing, it's the location. Sam saw it and didn't say anything. And this action also bought Sam's later reversal of fortune. The next day, a naughty juvenile delinquent stole the guard's melon seeds. When he saw the guards coming, he threw the stolen goods into Sam's pit. The guard was furious when he saw it. He went to Jenny and complained. But Jenny thought she dug up something good again. But it turned out to be a snitch. She was so angry, she slapped him across the face. In Jenny's office, Sam saw a 100-year-old newspaper on the wall. On it was a wanted poster for the Red Lip Bandit. But this wanted notice is very familiar to him. It turns out that his great-grandfather was originally a wealthy businessman, but he was robbed by the Red Lips while he was away. There was no food or water in the desert, but his great-grandfather held out for half a month, because his great-grandfather said there was a thumb mountain in the center of the desert. Not only was there food and drink on this mountain, but the view was great. 100 years later, the family thought his great-grandfather had made up the story, but the newspapers on the wall were silent proof that what great-grandfather said was true. These juvenile delinquents dig holes in the desert every day, because this desert contains a treasure from 100 years ago. But the harsh environment, it's not easy for these kids to cope. Tom knocked out a prison guard with a shovel, and then he ran off into the desert without looking back. The guards didn't chase after him. There's no water, no electricity, no food. Running to the center of the desert is suicide. Tom is the hero's best friend. In order to save Tom, he took the water tanker when the guards weren't looking, but there are potholes all around. Sam's driving skills are too poor. No accident or an accident. Sam got out of the car and ran. As he walked, he saw a boat upside down. There was a pair of legs underneath the boat. When he got closer, it turned out that the person inside was Tom. The clever Tom dug a hole under the boat. This is not only a place to hide from the hot sun. There are many delicious canned food in the cabin. But the canned food is delicious, but we're about to run out. Without food and water, they won't last long. But coincidentally, there's a big mountain not far away, and the mountain is shaped like a thumb. Sam had an epiphany. It seems that the legends about his great-grandfather are true. This mountain must be Thumb Mountain. The two of them started to climb the mountain with all their strength, but the mountain was too steep. Sam almost fell down by accident, but Tom pulled him up with a shovel. But Tom was also injured. Eventually, Tom fainted due to exhaustion. Sam carried Tom on his back all the way. Finally heard the sound of water at the top of the hill. Seeing the green vegetation in front of him, Sam plunged into a puddle and drank. Tom also joined in. Then Sam found an onion nearby. He took a bite and found it crunchy and sweet. Hungry, the two of them ate an acre of onions. Now they have water and food, and they don't have to dig any more holes to wake up every day. It's such a cozy life that Tom doesn't want to leave. But Sam had another plan, because he was the only one who knew where the Red Lips Bandit's treasure is buried. Two juvenile delinquents dug a hole in the desert for treasure. They spent most of the night digging. They finally found a treasure chest, and it's the inheritance of the Red Lips Bandit. But before they could be happy, Jenny, the prison warden, came with his men. It turns out that Jenny's grandfather was a lecherous old man. He had a crush on a pretty girl in the town, but he accidentally discovered she was with a man, so he planned to kill him. When Jenny found out, she went to the police. But the police didn't just ignore her, they even tried to kiss her. She was so humiliated that she ran home. But when she entered the house, she found out that the man had been killed. The next day, she went to the police. After killing the man, she even kissed him. From then on, she became a black sheep. Not only did she fight, rob and kill people, and every time she killed someone, she would always kiss the victim on the face. Because of this striking red lip mark, she was called the Red Lip Bandit. But the world is unpredictable. The beautiful girl who became the Red Lip Bandit, she accidentally fell into the hands of Jenny's grandfather. The old lecher told her to give up the treasure she stole, but she said the treasure is buried in the desert. If you're so inclined, you can dig it up yourself. Then she pulled out a poisonous lizard and left. And from then on, the old lecher not only dug for the treasure himself every day, he also asked his granddaughter to dig with him, until her granddaughter grew up and became a prison warden. Jenny even used her position. She made the juvenile delinquents dig with her. It can be said that Jenny has been digging holes since she was a child. She saw the treasure she had been looking for years was right in front of her, but out of nowhere, a million poisonous lizards appeared. Jenny and the two of them didn't dare to make a move, so they started to compete with each other. But on the second day, the lizards were still there. Meanwhile, the lawyer and the police chief came to see us. It turned out that the case had been retried. After investigation, they found that Sam was wrongly accused, so he brought his lawyer to do the release procedure. But Jenny didn't want to lose the treasure just like that. She accused Sam of being a thief, because the case in his arms is actually Jenny's, but she didn't realize Sam's great-grandfather's name was written on the chest. It turns out that the chest was robbed by Sam's great-grandfather. The warden had a hard time, due to the court's misjudgment. Now he wants Sam to make a request, and Sam's request is to take his best friend Tom and leave the prison together. At the same time, the inmates reported Jenny and the guard. After investigation, it turns out that the guard is a fugitive, and Jenny is facing jail time. Before leaving, Jenny begged. She wanted to see what was in the box. After all, this is the dream of generations of family members. But Sam refused, because the box has nothing to do with them. When they got home, they opened the box with their family. What we didn't expect. Inside is full of gold and jewels. It seems that this chest belonged to his great-grandfather, and all the treasures inside should be the Red Lips bandits. But no matter what, the treasure now belongs to Sam. And Sam is not stingy. He offered to give half of the treasure to Tom. After all, it was their joint effort, and from then on, they've been living the life of a simple, unassuming tycoon.